Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to TV Movie Month here on my channel. And tonight we're going to talk about a 2016 Lifetime movie that came out. Don't worry, it's not a kissy face romantic comedy. It's a dark thriller from 2016 called Dark Paradise, also known as Remote Paradise. And I saw this like about I think last year, and I watch it a lot because it's one of my most underrated, TV movies that I saw that was not on the Disney Channel or Hallmark or on Nickelodeon. Right here, I got a tablet. It says how much it, how low it got. It got a 4.5 on IMDb. It doesn't deserve that. I don't think that this movie is terrible. I've seen way worse. It is a thriller because it has blood in it. Some people die in it, and it has a lot of suspense and like pit of your stomach kind of like imagery. This is the basic gist. I'm going to read it right here so I don't forget. A female businesswoman gets in over her head after inheriting some money and encountering a dangerous bad boy in Hawaii. That's the freaking plot in a nutshell. Basically, Bodie Bliss, she plays the girl in the movie. She's you see her name is Tamara. She is pretty, she's pretty well, she has low, she's like lower class, and she's like doing gardening, and then a lawyer shows up to her house and tells her that your father gave you an inheritance of over I think $8 million or something like that, and she can't believe it. She's like, this is a joke, right? And like, no, it's like, just sign here and you're gonna be a millionaire, and don't spend your money fast. And she cries, and I like the fact that this character becomes likable as the movie goes on, and Bodie Bliss does a really good performance. I like her friends in the movie. You got Eon Overman as Sherry, and her best friend, who's the most attractive of the three of them, is Jacqueline Lord. She plays Dina. She's the one that later on in the film, there's going to be spoilers here if in case you are interested in the movie, where she gets attacked by the bad boy in Hawaii. Basically, when she inherits the money, she gets very happy. She tells her friends that I booked us a freaking villa in Hawaii for like 12 days that we can enjoy ourselves, just us girls. And see, it's not an SJW agenda. It's female characters that are likable and beautiful, and there's a beautiful scenery in Hawaii, and the place that they go to is amazing. It's beautiful visuals, and that's where they meet Antonio Sabato Jr. as Dario, who is the villain of the movie. I mean, look at his face here. If that's not the face of a villain, I don't know what is. See, that's him, and she ends up falling in love with him because he pretends to be an Italian, from immigrant from with the accent and everything. I'm like, Sabato Jr. doesn't have an accent. He is Italian. He was born in Italy, but no accent because he was raised here. He's a good actor. I like him as an actor. He's done a lot of action movies and thrillers and things like that back in the 90s and the 2000s. I've always liked him. He plays a really, bad guy. Like, he's really creepy looking. He once played a serial killer in Henry Drifter back in the 2000s, and he's a dependable actor. You also have other people here. You got Sharon M. Bell, Megan Blake, and other actors that you probably have seen in other TV movies. And basically, yeah, she falls in love with him, and what she doesn't know is that he's a con man that tricks women out of getting their money and robs them of their money and leaves them for dead. And basically, that's the whole film in the nutshell. Basically, her friends that they go not surfing, but they go swimming in the beach in the villa, and then Antonio Sabato ends up showing up, and then of course they have sex like on the first date. I'm like, of course, because she's a woman and she's lonely and didn't have a man in her life, and then he takes advantage of her money. She tries to use her credit card like to pay for a room to get away from Dario, and she finds out that Dario conned her out of her money, and that just sucks. See, you can't trust everybody that you meet in certain places because it was just a fantasy that she's living a fantasy in this island resort with her two friends and this guy that just comes out of nowhere and is like, "Ciao, Bella," and all that. I'm like, no, some people you just can't trust them, especially certain foreigners. But anyway, yeah, the movie's really good. I think the film's underrated. I think it's well shot. The director, I think his name is Michael Pfeiffer. Hold on, he's Michael Pfeiffer. Yeah, he directed and wrote the movie. And unlike Ryan Johnson, I can say this: he uses no CGI in this movie, and he actually has a coherent plot. He did a movie. He produced a movie called Abandoned with that was the late Brittany Murphy. He did a Christmas Wedding Tale. I think it's a cute little film. He's directed other films that I liked. He's done some Christmas movies that I really enjoy, like Merry Christmas, Christmas with the Andersons. I think I saw that once. I didn't care for it. The Dog Who Saved the Holidays. That was cute. He knows how to direct actors, and he's done a lot. I mean, look at his filmography. Look at that. That is a huge lineup of stuff. Suck my dick, Ryan Johnson. Okay, you're never gonna direct this many films. This guy has done. Well, that's what he produced. He's directed 53. Fuck you, RJ. You will never direct that many movies again because you can't direct. You take good actors and you waste them and you suck them dry and you turn them into a freaking joke, especially old actors. This guy knows what he's doing. These are the films that he produced, but yeah, directed wise, he's doing like 4 films in the next couple years. Yeah, how do you like them apples? But don't worry, not every video is going to be bashing Disney Wars. That guy deserves every hatred that he got last year for what he did with Episode 8. And I wasn't even looking forward to it anyway. But this movie, like I said, if you want blood, like what Dario does to this girl, to Tamara's friend is freaking, is just horrifying. Like, you think that horror movies are scary? It's scarier when it actually happens in reality, not in your dreams or, some fantasy world. This really happens, in the movie. It's like something like this actually can happen. And basically, he massacres her face. Like he starts saying something. He gets her in a bedroom and he's like assaulting her. They don't show too much. This is not 50 Shades of Grey, I promise. And he beats the shit out of her and they show the aftermath. See, you don't have to show it. Show, don't tell. You don't have to tell what's happening. You don't have to show the punching and the slicing and all. Just show the aftermath and that's all you need to know. That's what worked in Kill Bill, that they show the bloody bride. They didn't have to show her getting cut up or whatever. Just show, don't tell. It's better that way. And by the way, this director's from Brooklyn, New York, which is pretty cool because I'm from there. But anyway, I was raised here. I wasn't born here. But anyway, yeah, the movie is fast paced. It's only about 80 something minutes long. It doesn't have, a lot of filler in it. There's a scenes that they do have sex. They don't show too much, which is fine with me because I don't want to see too much. And also, the movie, yeah, it's 89 minutes long, and it's a TV movie. It's 14, so I would not recommend this to any children because there's some violent scenes and there's blood, and there's some of that. Those images will be psychologically damaging to youngsters under the age of 10. So I would not recommend it to children. It's not a PG-13 like an Avengers movie. It's bloody. They show blood in this movie and some gore. And at the end of the movie, where Bodhi Bliss, spoiler, she captures Dario in a chair. And of course, this is the real female empowerment. She tells him to give him a password to give back the money that he stole to every woman that he swindled, which that's calls frontier justice. And the women are not just doing it for women, they're doing it because a man like him is a scumbag. And of course, yeah, he gets what's coming to him. She gets her money back, and her friends go back to the villa, but this time they don't fall in love with a man because they're like, no men this time, and it's not what you think. It's women having a good time without a man corrupting their friendship and trying to cause somebody to be in the hospital, which that's really dark. Like the movie is dark, but it's a good kind of dark. It's not like, oh my god, I'm so depressed. It's a intriguing kind of dark, and it shows you a valuable lesson to, not everything is as it seems. Looks can be deceiving, especially with a man that looks like that and has a menacing face, and you think like, oh, he's foreign, he's Italian, he's very very exotic, and I'm like, yeah, but he can also be a serial killer, but he's not. He's a con artist, but he does almost have tendencies of a serial killer. But yeah, it was entertaining to me, even though it came out in October. It came out before Halloween, and to me, realism is more horrifying than a slasher movie where people are getting their heads cut off. I'm like, that's something we've seen a lot, but what happens in the real world is even scarier, and everybody knows that. But anyway, yeah, Dark Paradise, aka Remote Paradise, it's a good, it's a fun movie for what it is. Remember that when you go in, don't expect a romantic novel. This is not The Notebook. This is more like Psycho, but without the twist at the end and all that. But it has that dark atmosphere. But it works. So, and I like seeing an island paradise. The waves and the sun and the beaches and beautiful women in bikinis. You can't. You're never gonna get that with episode 9, guys. I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. You're not gonna get Daisy Ridley in a bathing suit. Now she'll just be ripping off Carrie Fisher. But anyway, yeah, this movie is, for a TV movie, it's actually better than a lot of thrillers nowadays. Nowadays in thrillers is the same thing. Guy and girl fall in love, then something goes wrong because she feel realize the guy or the girl is not what they seem, and then at the end they're running for their lives. I've seen it. I've seen it already. This movie is better than Acrimony, that piece of shit movie that freaking what's his name? Tyler Perry did. No, you can't direct anymore, guy. Just fuck off. This movie is way better. You know why? Because even though I knew Antonio Sabato Jr. was the villain the whole time, at least I was intrigued. I wanted to know what happened to the characters. In your movies, it's always a race thing or I got the devil in me. I'm like, fuck you, buddy. Stop being so preachy. You're just as bad as Ryan Johnson. You and Ryan Johnson should go to the freaking moon and blow away. But anyway, Dark Dark Paradise actually is decent. If you haven't seen it, they have it online, and also they give it on. If you have cable or satellite or Netflix, I think you could find it there. It's definitely not terrible. Don't listen to 4.5. It is not as bad as Fembusters, and that came out the same freaking year, 2016. A year that was really hard for me, but at least when I see movies like this, I'm like, there is some sweet humanity left in this world. And I will say I liked it more than like Suicide Squad. I liked it more than freaking, well, Fembusters. I don't ever want to watch it. It's better than some thrillers that I've seen. Like this year, I saw a freaking thriller with Liam Hemsworth, which was worthless, called Paranoia. That was not thrilling. It was boring. Nothing happens, and it's longer than this movie, and it's just dull and has no impact. Like I didn't care what was going on here. I like Tamara. I like Bodie Bliss. I think she's a beautiful actress with big, friendly eyes. I know Josh is a fan of that. I like her two friends. I think they're beautiful. There's a black woman and a woman with dark black hair, which I love that. I'm into brunettes. Always have been, always will be. And Antonio Sabato Jr. is menacing. Unlike Ghost in Ant-Man and Wasp, he's menacing because he's somebody like that. It actually exists. Ghosts don't exist, guys. Especially looking like Storm Shadow from G.I. Joe. But anyway, this movie's fun. If you happen to catch it on TV, one watch won't kill you. And you know what you're getting. It has its flaws. It's there's some of the characters like in the movie kind of get underused. Like the black lawyer, he's only in like one scene. There's an Asian woman that's on the island that's just in like two scenes, and a couple of characters that like um her friends, her best one of her best friends. She pays her mortgage, but the rest of the people you don't see them again, so they're inconsequential to the plot. But other than that, it's pretty decent. It's well acted. It's not god awful. It doesn't have god awful CGI. It's really well paced and it's thrilling. It has some moments that are like, oh man, that's really dark. And I'm like, yeah, but it works. It's not super depressing. And would I watch this with a date? Probably not, because only because I don't want them to scare them off. I would rather see something light and then get to this when you know each other well. But if you see it by yourself, it's not a bad run. And I like this movie, so I want to review a lot of TV movies you've never heard of, so you can watch it. YouTube community, because there's a lot out there you haven't seen, but this one is pretty decent. So next time I review another film that was a TV movie, and take care, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Keep watching my stuff. I'm glad you're enjoying my videos. I'm not going to quit because it's summer. I want to have a good time. So see you later.